of the Israeli government holding a private convention here in the United States. One of the people in attendance at this secret meeting was Judith Varney Shorer. She's a former Israeli consul general who was operating out of Atlanta. She was one of the main people saying that the biggest problem that they had was young black people in the United States. But don't worry, they've got some black leaders on the payroll.
The major problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community.
This was an Israeli government official who was saying this, not some low-level operative or some rogue member of their diplomatic corps. This was a senior member of their administrative government who was saying this on American soil. Their biggest problem wasn't Hamas or Hezbollah or the Palestinian Authority or Syria or even Iran. She said that Israel's biggest problem was young black people in the United States.
Who has a right to the land?
Yeah.
And you said it's a mixture of religion and ethnicity.
I got a serious question. Why can't Clip people leave black people alone? What in the ever do black people got to do with what the hell is going on in Israel? Why is it y'all always trying to find a way to put some shit on black people? Our president ain't even black no more. It's a white man. So what the is happening? I legitimately need a white person to tell me what is y'all problem with black people. For real, for real.
I don't know if you can think of a people who were more held back, more deprived, more sabotaged than African Americans. You took everything away from them and took them away from everything. They started in your country at less than zero, literally regarded and treated as subhuman, not allowed to learn to read or write or anything for hundreds of years. But you see, they come from a people of accomplishment to one degree or another, not a people of piracy and theft and appropriation. They come from a people who created and built and developed in their own land. And even though you did everything that you could possibly do to suppress them, to hold them down, to hold them back, and you're still doing that until today, nevertheless, I don't think anyone can dispute the fact that African Americans have become a global cultural superpower. Culturally, they're a superpower. Whatever cultural soft power that America has in the global South, it's African American.
You know, I wonder why Israel's biggest problem is the young generation of the black community when we're all the way over here. We don't have no land. We don't have no communities. We don't have no commodities. We don't have any resources. We don't have any bombs. We don't have any nuclear weapons. We don't have any missiles. You know, we don't have any military. You know, why would we be the biggest threat? Wouldn't the biggest threat be the people you're actually in war with? What do we have to do with anything y'all got going on? Could it be that the conspiracies about identity theft are true? Perhaps. Because I doubt that, you know, a lie would be a big threat to an entire country. I don't think a lie would. But what I think is the biggest threat is that the truth is being revealed and the world knows that. Time's up.
So Donald Trump wants to take down all of the things in the Smithsonian. Yeah, as it regards to black people. That's fine. Because now even more of the information is coming out. First of all, I want to say something. The reason why, have you ever thought about the reason why we are so despised, so feared? Have you ever really thought about that? Is it just racism? Or are we woke about the wrong things? Wait a minute, hold on, honey. Something crawling on me. Okay. Oh, but I want to ask you that question. See, the deal is, they know who we are.
Take this home with you. The Jewish representative of Israel said that the greatest difficulty that Israel has is with young black Americans. What does Israel have to fear about young black Americans? Because they refuse to be controlled. by the forces that control their fathers and their grandfathers. That is.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video from. As you know, I'm your host and presenter Agent Stories. It's a beautiful day that God has granted unto us, and I just want to say something that stands out, and many times you will note this or you'll recognize this. One thing is that you ask yourself why people are so much obsessed with black people. It is because there's something special about black people. There's something special that black people say. And this is what black people say that is special. You realize that it's the truth. It's the truth that all these folks fear. They fear this reality. They fear this truth. Because at the end of the day, black people have been the truth tellers throughout the history. And that's why in an open meeting, you hear all those Israeli leaders saying that they have a problem with young black Americans. Because it's like all black people are activists. They say the truth, they call things out. And that exposing the truths that all these people are afraid of, including their origin, who are the true Hebrew Israelites. You think, what's the problem? That's the problem. That's what they fear, definitely. Because black people go out there and they tell everyone the truth. They teach everyone the truth. And this is something that makes them fear. And I want to say something. They should fear because black people are built differently. They are the most resilient people I've ever seen. You can never intimidate them. You can never threat them. You can never intimidate them. Do you think how many times people have tried intimidating black Americans? But they'll still come out as if nothing happened. So many times we've seen this happen. So many times we have people that have done crazy things to black people, but they're resilient. And let me tell you something. It is the black resilience that has made them still stand where they are right now. Because what history tried to hide in what black people are done to, you didn't expect black people to still exist. But yes, here we are. Black Americans, they are the most resilient people I've ever seen. They are the group of people that you'll do anything to bring them down, but they're going to be proving you wrong. They're going to be telling you that you need to do better. So when you do better, they'll ask you, is that all you got? You need to do better. And you ask yourself why. Out of any other group of people, Israel is seeing black Americans as their problem. I think we all know the truth. We all know that part of the truth that they don't want you to know. We all know that part of the truth that they don't want you to have. Because it is so much dangerous for you to know the truth. And black Americans are spreading the truth. The truth that they are so much afraid of. The truth that they don't want you to have. So because black Americans are so much vocal and they are telling the truth, they're writing history, they're learning that they are not who they are. And this is making them fear so much. There's nothing that makes them fear so much as, you as a black person getting to inform other people about who they are, about the truth, right? And so, this makes them fear. Brothers and sisters, I want us to watch this video. You are definitely going to be seeing what I'm trying to tell you. And then I'll be back. I'll be giving my 2 cents in regards to this. And I'm just asking, if you're watching this video for the first time, probably you've been watching my videos, you haven't subscribed. I'm appealing to you to please subscribe to the channel, join the membership if you can, and really see what we can offer you. And I'm really, really grateful for all who always support my channel. I'm really, really grateful for the support that you all are offering me. But until then, Let me see you in my next video. Until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.
Over. So I say to Israel, leave the black youth alone. Don't come into our community trying to kill us to satisfy your bloodlust.
Who are the Israelites?
Okay, so let get
how
James
do we
1
identify
and 1.
them?
I'm going to show you how. This is how we identify them. Get James 1 and 1. So when you look at the 12 tribes of Israel, even, remember, James was writing after Jesus Christ died, right? James, the book of James. And the message never changed. In the New Testament, I start here because I want you to see that not only is Paul's and Peter's audience the Jews, which were the southern kingdom, also it was the northern tribes that were scattered. James 1 and 1.
James chapter 1 and verse 1.
See, I don't even have it. Give me a sec, brother. Okay. James chapter, here's the answer to your question. Read.
Okay. James chapter 1 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
James, a servant of God.
James was a servant of God. Read.
And of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Uh-huh.
To the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greeting.
James was a follower of Christ. Mm-hmm. His audience were the 12 tribes that were scattered throughout all Pontia, throughout Galatia, all these places. That's who Paul's audience was. The message has never changed. It was always for the 12 tribes of Israel.
Serious question. Why can't clear people leave black people alone? What do black people got to do with what the hell is going on in Israel? Why is it y'all always trying to find a way to put on black people? Our president ain't even black no more. It's a white man. So what is happening? I legitimately need a white person to tell me what is y'all problem with black people. For real. Because we really don't to y'all. Like all the violence that you keep in your head saying that we don't do that. Y'all do that shit. Y'all are the top of the food chain when it comes to all violence. Why is it that y'all is on our backs like we the ones who doing it more than y'all? Like, for real, black people just stay on repeat in your mind. And I really need to understand why. You know what? I know why. I don't know why I'm playing around. I know why. It's because we the chosen people. We the chosen people. And the white people is trying to do whatever they can to eradicate our ass because they don't want us to go home. That's what it is. We are the holders of the earth. And y'all ass is the visitors. And y'all mad. That's what it is. It can't be nothing else. Like, science has proven this as a fact. It can't be nothing else at this point. See, I didn't want to get to the point of that realization because that point of realization comes towards the edge of being prejudiced. But goddamn it, it's the fucking truth. Because otherwise, it ain't no point for white people to look at black people the way that y'all do. Because all the shit y'all scared that we gonna do, y'all did it to us first. My mind is blown. Let me go lay down. I'm finna take a nap. Goodbye. Now, wait a minute. I gotta go back and I gotta fix something because I just went on a rant, but it was a good rant, so I'm not gonna do it over and I need to correct myself. If you have been on my page for a while, you know that I have two categories of white people. There are regular white people and then there are clear people. The white people are the good people who stand for everything great, gracious, and empathize with everybody and everything around them. Then there are clear people who are nationalists and who don't give a nothing but their own skin color. Those are the ones that we don't like. Now, with that being said, I know that there are white people out here who are actually our allies. But here's the thing, y'all. Y'all, our allies only where we can hear and see you. We now need you to be our allies out there, out in public, where everybody can hear and see you. Okay, that means going out and talking to everybody in your community about how bad it is that people of color are being treated. Grandma, grandpa, auntie, uncle, mama, daddy, brother, sister, cousin, your next door neighbor, Miss Lulu around the corner, the lady who be up at the fresh market that you go and shop at, her and her whole entire family. Go to your church and scream it from the mountaintops. They ask for you to do an open prayer in your church. Pray for the people of color and make everybody around you feel like shit because they don't feel the same way and they need to change the way that they are thinking. We need you to go into your communities now and speak up for us, because just standing in our community and telling us how you're here with us ain't helping no more. Ain't nobody listening. You got to go knock on everybody else's door so that they can hear you clearly. For real, for real. I know y'all out there. I know you out there, and I'm grateful for you. It's a lot of people who are grateful for you, but we need you to make a little bit more noise because, baby, let me tell you something. We this close to standing on a landmine and blowing everything up into World War III. You hear what I'm saying to you? We need help. Y'all got to come out here and make noise because this shit is... Go back and watch the original video.
I think a lot about Black people's experience in America and the state of Israel. So Israel's whole justification for existence is that Jews are a marginalized group and that they need a state in which they're safe, right? And I think a lot about that premise as a Black American because our entire existence in this country has been one of marginalization and subjugation. We were enslaved for hundreds of years. We had a brief moment in the sun during Reconstruction, then Jim Crow, and now the post-civil rights era, which has been marred by state-sanctioned violence of all types. And so I think sometimes, like, what if Black people just decided that we wanted to go find a country in Africa? Let's pick Nigeria. We wanted to go to Nigeria and create a homeland for ourselves where we could be safe away from white supremacy. We would be wrong, right? Like, we would be wrong because we would be using our own marginalization and subjugation to go colonize and harm other people. And why I think about this in relation to the state of Israel is because I think the conversation around Israel is so fundamentally anti-nuanced and anti-intellectual. Because the question of whether someone believes in Israel's right to exist just isn't actually the real question, right? It's a red herring. The real question is whether or not you believe that people who have been harmed or marginalized deserve the opportunity to go harm and marginalize other people as a way to ameliorate their own suffering. And I think the answer to that is fundamentally no. You cannot lessen your own suffering by inflicting suffering on other people. And I think that acting like a marginalized group can't also commit harm is itself fundamentally racist, or in this case, anti-Semitic, right? Because you're only framing these people through their marginalization and not treating them actually as full people who have agency. And when you do that, you eschew any opportunity to have nuance or depth, which is necessary to have any sort of discussion. And so as a Black American person, I of course understand the history of anti-Semitism, both in this country and abroad, and understand and am in solidarity with Jewish folks, right? And I'm also going to be the first one to say that that don't mean you get to go pillage and plunder Palestinian people's homeland and take their shit and commit genocide all in the name of your own marginalization.
So many things that aren't being said, and I'm going to get into it. So for one, keep it in the forefront of your mind what she said, that Black people are the biggest threat to Israel. Keep that in the forefront of your mind. Now, we know that currently there's a hyper-awareness around the topic of genocide because of what's happening in Palestine. But has anybody actually sat back and questioned the timing of the release of information about Sudan and the Congo? Because it's suspicious. Now, she said we're the biggest threat. The reason that we're the biggest threat is because Black people are the global symbol of resilience. These people have been trying to exterminate us forever, and they haven't been able to do it. So when they saw us come out overwhelmingly and stand with Palestine, they were fearful that we would pass on that resilient spirit and that strength to those people, the people they're currently trying to exterminate. So what they did was they put out this information about Africa to divert our attention, because they know that if we see something happening over there, we're going to immediately side with our people, because that's the way that we normally move. And they expect our community to do what some members have done. See, this is why we don't need to be standing with other people. We need to be worried about ourselves, our people, blah, 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 blah. Y'all, it's okay to care about more than one thing at a time. It's actually quite important that you're able to do that. You can stand on multiple issues at once, and we're going to have to. Because if you allow genocide in one place, you're allowing it everywhere. It sets a precedent when you show that you don't care. That means it's going to show up in other places and people still won't care. We can't allow that. But the timing of the release of information is what I want to focus on, because it is very intentional. They managed to keep the information about the Congo and Sudan out of the mainstream media, out of the news, off of these apps. We didn't know until we found out about Palestine what was happening in those places. You can't tell me that that wasn't intentional. Black people have to learn to recognize our power, y'all. If we weren't so powerful, we wouldn't be a threat to anybody. Like y'all say, we sitting over here, we're minding our business, we ain't even thinking about y'all. But somehow we're still a threat. It's because of what we represent. Black people are the symbol of resilience and of strength. They know that. We have to know it, and we have to start walking in it.
And this is really important to understand because guess what? The Khazar Jews, they will take over Europe, okay? And you have three different types of Jews. You have the Sephardic Jews, which basically are the Jews who were expelled from Spain, okay? These are real Jews. You have the Mazari Jews who were in the Islamic world. Again, these are real Jews. The blue, these Ashkenazi Jews, they're not real Jews. They're converted, okay? This is something you're not allowed to discuss at all, even though the evidence is so stark. The other issue with the Ashkenazi is that they make up 80% of all Jews in the world today, okay? And so you go to the issue and it says like, we're here because this is what God promised to us. That's nonsense. But again, you're not allowed to discuss this, even though, again, the evidence is stark, all right? All right, so this conspiracy also helps us, again, explain the JFK assassination, okay? As well as, so this is the book King Kill. You can read it online for yourself. It's by Dowdard and Hoffman. It goes into why the Freemasons would want to kill JFK, the sort of ritual sacrifice ideas behind it, okay?
I'm going to show you screenshots from two videos that I'll try and link below, and then I'm going to explain to you why these might be the two most important videos on the internet right now. The first is a video posted up by Lars, who is highlighting a meeting where the former Israeli consulate general is talking about how one of the biggest problems that Israel has is the young generation of Black Americans today. The second is a video posted up by Shannon. Shannon stitched a montage of Israelis mocking and laughing at the pain and suffering in Palestinians because to them, the death of Palestinians, the pain of Palestinians is entertainment. It's laughable. And in her stitch, Shannon makes a poignant observation. She draws the parallels between white supremacists finding joy in mob lynchings of Black people and connects it to white Israeli supremacists finding joy in the pain and suffering and death of Palestinians. And upon making that connection, she says, and I quote, "The oppressor does not change its patterns, they just change their targets." Now I want to explain to you why these are the two most important videos on the internet right now. When people hear the word privilege, they generally associate that word with the concept of gain, which is technically true in a lot of cases. But within the broader scope of the global community, the word privilege is more accurately equivalent to the concept of a blinder. The more privileges you have, the less you see. And the less privileges you have, the more you have to bear witness to all of the oppression, all of the suffering, all of the problems. And it is that group of people that are forced to witness the worst of that oppression, forced to survive the worst of that violence, that also have the strongest potential to rise up and fight back against it. Now take that concept and plant it into the real-world context of the current young generation of Black America. Black Americans have been forced to endure century after century of well-documented white supremacist violence and oppression. And the astonishing thing about humanity is that for some reason, facing all of that pain, all of that suffering, compels humans to create something beautiful in order to stave off the hurt of this world. And that can be found in the music, the dance, the fashion, the literature, the art, all of which was so sensational, so compelling, so riveting that white people could not help but love it and consume it and appropriate it and try to make it theirs. And they did that time and time again until this young generation of Black Americans rose up and compelled this nation to enter into an age of cultural reclamation. And they brought the receipts. Oh, you like that music? Black people created that. Oh, you dress like that? Black people have been dressing like that for literal decades. The way you are speaking literally involves slang and syntax that originates within the Black community. How is it that you are comfortable speaking and dressing like that and still manage to hate Black people? All of those questions, while they have not cured America of its racism, have at the very least forced America to contend with its anti-Blackness, and at a base state establishes that being a racist is a bad thing. And upon that establishment, connected to the age of cultural reclamation, Black Americans have elevated themselves into a new era of social, political, cultural, and economic power. An era of shifting power that can be felt and witnessed around the globe because the reality of American hegemony has required the global consumption of American culture, which at its foundation is Black culture. This is where poetic justice comes into play. When a community like that rises to that level of power, while also wearing the least amount of blinders, wielding the least amount of privileges, it is almost guaranteed that they are going to recognize every movement of oppression that is being weaponized against communities across the globe. That's the thing about forcing a community to endure century after century of violent systemic racism. They are forced from birth to become experts at recognizing racism and recognizing oppression when they see it. Their intellect, their intuition, their observation skills are honed and sharpened to constantly be aware of it, to the point where the slightest shift in the tone of your voice is going to clue them in to whether or not you're a racist. That little shift in your body language, that little twitch in your eye the moment that a Black person walks into your vicinity, they clock that within milliseconds. They're experts. They shouldn't be, but they are. And who do you listen to when you are trying to understand a situation? The experts. You listen to the people who know what the fuck they're talking about. And Palestinians are bringing their receipts, publishing the documents, delivering the video footage, speaking English to make sure that nothing gets twisted in translation. And Black America is bearing witness and recognizing that violence. It looks disturbingly familiar to them because they have witnessed that same violence, that same brutality inflicted upon their own families, their own community. And with that recognition, they feel compelled to point out the oppressor, speak out against the oppressor, and stand with the oppressed. And they choose to do so in abundance, despite the sacrifice, despite the censorship and the shadow banning, despite the targeting and the brand deals that are financially depriving them, because they would rather stand up loudly and proudly against the violence of white supremacy than inflict the pain of a silent bystander upon another human being. And that is why an Israeli leader at a private convention in the city of Atlanta, of all places, is stating that the young generation of Black America is the biggest threat to Israel. And if that does not make you feel powerful today, then I don't know what will.
I think we've all seen this video circulating on TikTok with that headline, but I want to tell y'all what that's about. Movement for Black Lives is a policy platform that's not the same thing as Black Lives Matter, although they focus on the same issues: anti-racism, reparations for Black people, abolishing the death penalty, free college tuition for everyone in the United States. In 2016, they also presented a 40 policy proposal on boycotting, divesting, and sanctioning Israel for the war crimes and genocide against the Palestinians. This upset a lot of American Jewish citizens who feel like they have fought with Black Lives Matter, and they did not think that the Palestinian struggle and the Black struggle in America should be looked at as synonymous or even remotely anywhere near the same. It also upset parliament members of the Israeli government, and so they started to see that a lot of young Black college students were supporting BDS after Black Lives Matter also signed on to the BDS policy. So in 2020, they decided to do a convention and bring together 40 Black leaders within the United States to try and spread loyalty to Israel and to detour young Black college students from boycotting Israel. The boycotting and divesting included not spending money with businesses that are loyal to Israel, not supporting artists who are loyal to Israel, as well as not investing in stocks, getting companies to not invest in stocks and not supporting the companies that invest in stocks that are loyal to Israel. Now, due to the growing support of the BDS policy, Benjamin Netanyahu, all of 2020, worked with politicians in the United States to pass a law that says that you cannot boycott Israel or hire any employee who will boycott Israel if you take government contract funding or venture funding from certain venture capitalists. This is why we see a lot of people who have spoken out in pro-Palestinian comments on their social media being fired from their jobs, because a lot of these companies are government contractors and they've taken government funds and they are bound by that law. This is also why we see some artists not speaking out or have spoken out as pro-Israel. This meeting is to combat any type of resistance that we do here in the United States in support of the Palestinians. And a lot of young Black college students have signed on to the BDS cause, and they want to stop that. Now, while there are other things that we should also be considering with this situation, there are other things that we also need to consider that are right at our doorsteps right now.
Thanks for saying the quiet part out loud. If Black Americans one day decided that we were just collectively done with the shit and we were going to rise up against our own oppressive government and the genocide going on in Palestine, it'd be over. It'd be over in like 3 to 5 business days, if you hear what I'm saying. Like, why do you think Black revolutionary leaders dropped like flies? And who do you think did it? So just to be clear, the Israeli state thinks that we, the Black community, are the biggest threat to Israel. And they're right. Honestly, they probably just saw my TikTok account. Like, if we're being real, that's a joke. That's a joke. I'm not that conceited.
I want to ask you that question. See, the deal is, they know who we are. But many times, most of us do not. Have you ever stopped to wonder why the Christ is depicted as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed character, and God is depicted as this being that is white, that all of the disciples were British or something like that? Have you ever stopped to wonder, when did God turn white?
When God turned white. If ancient Persia remembered the Israelites as black, then how did we forget? How did the children of Cush, the sons of Jacob, once described with bronze skin and coiled hair, become pale figures with flowing blonde locks draped in royal blue? The answer begins in paint and ends in power. Let's begin in Renaissance Europe. By the 1400s, Christianity had become not just a religion, but a political tool wielded by monarchs, popes, and empires. It was no longer about remembering God's people. It was about controlling the image of God himself. So the artists got to work. Look at Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper. Jesus sitting among his disciples is pale-skinned, narrow-faced, and European in every detail. His disciples, the same. No traces of desert sun, no features of the Middle East, certainly no echoes of Cush or Ethiopia. It is not a scene from ancient Judea. It is a dinner party in Florence. But go back a few centuries earlier and you'll see something different. In the oldest Christian churches of Ethiopia, Jesus is shown with deep brown skin, woolly hair, and eyes shaped like those of the people around him. The apostles look like sons of Africa, not citizens of Rome. Even in early Coptic art from Egypt, Mary and baby Jesus are dark-skinned. In catacomb paintings from the 2nd and 3rd centuries, the Messiah has features more Semitic or African than any later European reinterpretation. So what changed? The turning point came with Constantine. When Christianity became the official religion of the Roman Empire, it began to serve a new master imperial politics. And in the centuries that followed, as the empire's center of gravity shifted north and west, so too did its image of the divine. God, they decided, should look like us. Not us as in the ancient Israelites, not us as in the Hebrews of Persia's scrolls, but us as in the lords of Western Europe. This wasn't just about art, it was about authority. Because if the image of holiness could be whitewashed, then so could the story of who God favored. If Jesus looked like Caesar, then Caesar could claim divine right, and suddenly being chosen looked like being European. But there's more. During the height of colonial expansion, religious justification became key. How could a Christian empire enslave millions of black bodies, unless it first made them seem spiritually inferior? Enter the new imagery. Missionaries brought with them not just the Bible, but pictures. And in these pictures, Jesus was blonde, Moses was white, the prophets wore European robes. What the sword could not conquer, the image subdued. Let's talk about Moses for a moment. In the Bible, Moses was raised in Pharaoh's household among Egyptians. When he fled into Midian, the locals mistook him for an Egyptian. So let's ask the obvious, what did Egyptians look like? Look at ancient Egyptian art. Dark skin, coiled hair, broad noses, features you'd now call African. If Moses passed as Egyptian, then he likely looked the same. Yet how many films still cast him as a white man? Charlton Heston, Christian Bale, Liam Neeson. Why? Because to depict Moses as black is to dismantle centuries of constructed supremacy.
So see, there's plenty of reasons for folks to actually despise us. And racism solely is not the issue. It is disguised as that. But that's not the issue. Again, they know who we are. Huh? Many of us do not. And it is written, the people perish because of a lack of knowledge. And though those 22 books may be missing in the Bible, naturally, your girl found them. Okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put things in different parts. And so since he wants to remove things from the Smithsonian, I'm glad he did, because it actually just catapulted me and other content creators to go on there and put out the real news, the news that we all need to see. But I also will tell you, as this goes on, as I continue to share what I have been learning, I need to also tell us that the reason that we may have gone into enslavement is beyond what we initially thought. All right, y'all. Y'all know me. Power to the people. Power to the people, baby. I'm about to get this knowledge because I feel like this. Once we really, really know, all of us as a unit, who we really are. You know, we say, yeah, we come from kings and queens. But do you understand that? No, I don't think you do, because I certainly didn't, and I'm a history buff. Okay? Power.
Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great. You know, the truth is out there. And the truth that I'm trying to say is the black resilience. They have tried to destroy black name everywhere, anywhere they wanted, but it never worked. Because of black resilience. Black people have proven to be resilient. And this is one of the biggest assets any race could ever have. That's one thing that's making black people still standing until right now. Because black people are built with resilience. They were built. It's like God knew that this group of people are going to be facing something special. So let me put resilience in them. While God was creating people, he said that, oh, you black folks, you know you are the smartest from all the inventions that you came from, that you came with, that they tried to hide from you, from all those great things that you achieved, from all great things that you did. All the inventions, science, mathematics, geometry, culture, civilization, name it all. Black people came up with all these things. And you ask yourself, why do you think other group of people see them as a threat? It is because there is something special about black people that they don't have. And one thing that they fear the most right now, and they're seeing it happening, is that black people are spreading the truth that they are not ready, the truth that they are not ready to share. They're not willing to, tell something that they fear the most. That's one thing that they really, really fear. And we are seeing it happening. They are afraid, most definitely. So brothers and sisters, it is high time you buckle up, because it is your voice, because it is your truth that is making the difference. It is the truth that you have that is making these people shake to their core. They fear you. They have proven that. They have proven that they fear you. So it is high time you use that as leverage. The fear that they have, it is high time you use it as leverage. You know, in a world of business, there's something called leverage. Using what you have to your advantage to put yourself in front of everyone, especially in a competitive environment. That's my definition of leverage, right? But in real world, there's something that black people have that all these other group of people that it doesn't have. That's the leverage that I'm trying to talk about. So brothers and sisters, please, really let me know what you'll think about this video. It is really important time that people gotta have the truth, that people gotta have to know the truth. Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. So brothers and sisters, please let me know what you'll think about this video. Until then, I'm your host and presenter Ejidek Stories. Until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute. Let me see you in my next video.